creation of a tab. So what is a tab? Tab is a interface between user and application. Tab is an interface between user and an application. When user clicks on the tab, corresponding table will open where I can enter the data, modify the data. Any table you want to open, and enter the data or view the data, we need a tab for an object. So tab is a interface between user and application. Now, how many types of tabs are there? There are 4 types of tabs we have. What are the 4 types of tabs we have? First one, custom object tab. When I click on this tab, corresponding object will be open. Second, we have web tab. When I click on this web tab, web page will be open. If you want to open any one of the web page, click on web tab. When I click on the web tab, corresponding web page will be open. Visual Force tab. When you click on the Visual Force page, when you click on this tab, corresponding Visual Force page will open. Lightning page tab. When you click on this tab, lightning page will open. So how many types of tabs we are seeing now? Right now we are seeing 4 tabs. We will have one more thing like lightning component tab. But as of now, how many we are able to see? 4 tabs. Okay. Custom object tab, web tab, Visual Force tab, lightning page. At the end, we also have lightning component tab. So all these are what? Interface for any user. When user clicks on the tab, corresponding table will open. When user clicks on the tab, corresponding web page will open. When user clicks on the tab, corresponding Visual Force page will open. When user clicks on the tab, lightning page will open. So when user clicks on it, corresponding pages will be open. I hope you are clear. Okay. Now let us go to how to create and what is the purpose of this. Let me give you a quick theoretical information. Tab is a interface between user and application. Tab is a interface between user and application. Now there are 4 types of tabs. One is custom object tab, Visual Force tab, web tab, lightning page tab. We also have, right, when you go to lightning, you'll be finding one more also, lightning component tab. Right now you're only seeing 4. If I enable the lightning domain, the 5th option also will come. Right. Let us start with the custom object tab. When you are looking at this, let us understand the basic structure. Now we have tables here. Employee, student. These are the tables what we created in the database. These are the objects what we created in the database. Now I am creating application. Look at this. For every object, how many tabs will be created? Only one tab. On an object, we can only create one tab. On an object, we can only create one tab. On an object, we can only create one tab. On an object, we can only create one tab. On an object, we can only create one tab. Now, on an object at max, we can only create one tab. Right. Now, all these objects belongs to which organization? Same. Now, it is a production of ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank may have number of its application. ICICI Bank may have number of its application. ICICI Bank may have number of application. All this data belongs to which company? All this data belongs to ICICI company only. All this data belongs to ICICI company only. All this data belongs to ICICI company. So ICICI can use this data in any one of the tab. ICICI can use any one of the tab. ICICI may use any one of these tab. In applications of ICICI, I can use any one of these data because the complete data belongs to ICICI. I can use this data in any one of my own application. For every object, how many tabs we have? One tab. For every object. Classroom. For every object, we can have only one tab. For every object, we can have only one tab. Now let us see this. We are building application. Application 1, application 2. Now, tell me, let us say it's a banking application. Now tell me which tabs are used in this? Employee tab, student tab. Now this is a credit card application. Now we are having employee tab. So you tell me in application which tabs? Application is a collection of tabs. For every object, how many tabs will be created? Only one tab. Now can I use the same tab in multiple applications? Yes, we can use it. Why? The data belongs to same organization. The data belongs to same organization. So I can use this tab in any number of applications. One object will have only one tab. The same tab can be included in any number of applications. Are you clear about this? If you club 4 tabs, it is one application. These 4 tabs, another application. I hope you are clear about this concept. Right. So how many tabs can be created on every object? One tab. Can I include the same tab in multiple applications? Yes, we can do that. Okay. Now come back to the story now. Custom object tab. Tab. When we click on this tab, corresponding custom object will be opened. When we click on this tab, corresponding custom object will be opened. On one object, one tab. On one object, we can create only one tab. Same tab can be used. Same tab can be used in multiple applications. When we click on this tab, corresponding custom object will open. One tab can be on one object, only one tab can be created. We can create only one tab. Same tab can be created. Same tab can be created. Okay, same tab can be used in multiple applications. Same tab can be used in multiple applications. Same tab can be used in multiple applications. Right. Now, boss, can you people move back this row? Please move away from that. Right. Right. Can you on that once again? Steps to create a custom object tab. What are the steps involved? Setup. First, I am going with a classic. Setup, build, create, tabs, new custom object tab. Setup, build, create tabs, new custom object tab. Now, let's understand this. In the Lightning, how do you go for it? In the Lightning, how you do it? Switch to Lightning Experience. Then, project off okay. Nice connection. Now, setup, then we have platform tools, user interface, then we have tabs, sites and domains, tabs, then we have custom object tab, web tab, visual. So what was this? Setup, platform tools, user interface, tabs. Setup, platform tools, user interface, platform tools, user interface, tabs. New custom object tab. Step number 1. Once you have done this, so navigation is clear. Right. So go back, custom object tab. Then what is the first option you are finding? First option you are finding object. First option you are finding object. Object. So you are supposed to choose object. You are supposed to choose object. So choose the object name. You are supposed to choose the object name. Which object you are trying to choose? Any of the object. Customer object. Then when you click on the tab, what is the style? When you click on the tab, what is the style? When you click on the tab, what is the style of the tab? When you click on the tab, what is the style of the tab? Click on this. Then go to next. So what are all the steps involved? Choose the step number 1. Choose the object. Choose the tab style. Choose the tab style. Then tab should be visible to whom? Tab should be visible to whom? Tab should be visible to whom? Parmesh. Tab should be visible to whom? Tab should be visible to whom? Check out this. Choose the profile. A junction point. 3 points connection. Connection point. Right. Now, power kadana. Now look at this. Choose the tab style. Choose the visibility of the tab. Junction point. 3 split box. Choose the visibility of tab. Now when you say choose the visibility of the tab, choose the profile for which the tab should be visible. Choose the profile for which the tab should be visible. Now if you are looking at this, look at the point. Now we got here. What are the options you are able to see here? Default on, default off, tab hidden. There are 3 options here. Default on, default off, tab hidden. Now what is the permission of this? What is the permission? What do you mean by default on? What do you mean by default off? What is the meaning of tab hidden? So we have here default on. Default on means, look at the point everyone. Tab will be visible to you on the tab panel. When I say default on, tab will be visible to you on the tab panel. Look at this. This is the tab panel. On the tab panel, tabs are visible. Default on means you can see the tab on the tab panel. You can see the tab on the tab panel, and the tab will be visible. You can see the tab as well as the tab is on the panel. Generally what happened? When I click on the plus sign, list of tabs are displayed. All the tabs will be on. All the tabs will not be on the tab panel. All the tabs will not be on the tab panel. Whichever the tabs are not on the tab panel, I will click on the plus sign and see the list of tabs. Default on means you can see the tab. Tab is on tab panel. Default off, you can see the tab, but tab is not on tab panel. You have to click on plus sign and see it. Default on, you can see and it is on panel. Default off, you can see but it is not on panel. We have to click on plus sign. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Third one, tab hidden. When I say tab hidden, you cannot see the tab. When I say tab hidden, you cannot see the tab. Are you getting my point? Okay. Default on. If we enable this, option, all users with this profile can see the tab on the panel. Can see the tab on the tab panel. The next one we had default off. If we enable this option, all users with this profile can see the tab but not on the they have to click on plus sign. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Then third one, tab hidden. Let's say tab hidden, what happens? If you choose this option, tab will not be visible. Tab will not be visible to the profile. I hope you are clear. So choose. Now right now I'm saying everyone can see this tab. Setup, build, create, tabs, new custom object tab, choose the object, tab style, then next I told default on, default on, default off, tab it in, default on. Then next, in which application you want to add this? Now I told ICICI Bank, and I am going to give ICICI Bank and ICICI Payroll Management. In these two applications I want to add it. Select the applications in which you want to show this tab. So go to ICICI Bank. Now we are able to see object called customer tab. So what is the third step involved? Choose the tabs. Choose the applications. Tab should be visible. Choose the application in which tab should be visible. Choose the applications in which tab should be visible. Right. Choose the object, choose the tab style, choose the visibility of the tab, then choose the application in which tab should be visible. Right, boss? I hope you are good with this. This is what? Custom object tab. So what is the other one? Web tab. When you click on the web tab, what happened? When we click on this tab, web page will be open. Then we have next Visualforce tab. When we click on this tab, Visualforce page will be open. Then we have Lightning page tab. Lightning page will be Lightning component. Lightning component will be open. When we click on this tab, Lightning component will be open. So we have went to what are the options we had? Custom object tab, web tab, Visualforce tab, Lightning page tab, Lightning component tab. I hope you are good with this. Right. So what is a tab basically? Tab is a interface between user and application. Now, when you click on the tab, corresponding pages or objects will open. Object tab, when you click on that, object will be open. When I click on the tab, corresponding object will be open. Okay. Now the question is, when you add a tab to an application, when you are adding a tab to an application, some default options will be enabled for you, boss. When you are clicking, when you are adding a tab within an application, whenever a new tab is added to an application, some default options will be given to you. What are they? Look at this. Now this is a sales application. When you go to sales, create new, whatever you are seeing here, all these are available on the top. Campaign, lead, account, contact, opportunity, contact, case, solution. What is this? When a tab is added to an application, we get a quick create new campaign straight away. Are you getting my point? I may be on any page, but from there I can create. Are you getting my point? Quick create. Second one, global search. When the tab is added to an application, automatically data of the tab can be searched from global search. Third one, recent items. You'll be finding a recent items. With respect to the object, if you make any changes, they'll be displayed to you in recent items. So let me give you, this is a certification question in Admin 201. What are the default options that are enabled when a tab is what are the default options that are enabled when a tab is added to an application? Create new. Then global search. Recent items. These are the three options. I hope you are good with this concept. Right. Let me show you one more example. Then we move to the next topic. Let us see, everyone. Setup, build, create. Then we have tabs, new tab. Payment, next, default on, next, include the tab in the application, ICICI Bank. Right, boss? So go to the application, see the tabs which are in application. I hope you are good with this concept. When we click on the tab, corresponding object is opening. This is about object creation and tab creation. Right. Now, let us go to the next level of the object. So we have created an object and we have created a tab for an object. Now, what are the fields that are there in the object? You created an object, you created a tab for an object. Now, when I click on new, the field should be displayed here. When I go to account, click on new, the fields are coming here. Similarly, on the customer object, what are the fields we have? On the customer object, what are the list of fields we have? Trying to understand list of fields in the object. What are the fields are there? How to create your own fields? That's what we are trying to understand now. So look at the concept. Fields. Right. So what is a field? We have a table. In the table we have a column. In the table we have columns. What are the columns we had? Name, phone. So table is nothing but object. Columns are nothing but fields. Table is nothing but an object. Columns are nothing but a field. Table is nothing but an object. Columns are nothing but a fields. Columns are nothing but a fields. Columns are nothing but a fields. Okay. So what is a column? Column is nothing but a field. In the regular database, you call object and column. You call table and column. In the Salesforce, we are calling as object and field. If you take any other technology, we call it as table, column. But in the Salesforce, we are calling as object, field. Okay. So now what is a field? What is a field? Fields are nothing but columns in the regular database. Now fields are nothing but columns in the regular database. Now the point is, how many types of fields are there? What are they? How many types of fields are there? What are they? There are two types of fields what we have. What are they? Standard fields and custom fields. How many types of fields we have? Two types of fields we have. What are they? Standard fields and custom field. Standard fields and custom field. What do you mean by a standard field? Fields created by the Salesforce. Fields created by the Salesforce are called standard fields. Any field created by the Salesforce are called standard fields. Okay. Now, who is going to create this field? Who is going to create this field? These fields are created by the Salesforce. If you create your own fields, what are they called? Custom field. Standard fields are nothing but fields which are created by the Salesforce. Now, custom fields are nothing but fields which are created by the user. Standard fields are created by the Salesforce. Custom fields are created by the user. Okay. Now, let us see. When you say standard fields, some of the standard fields are also called system fields. Now, listen carefully. Understand it carefully. Basically, what they are? Field type. Standard field and field created by values entered by. Now, if you look at this, standard fields created by, values are entered by, custom fields created by user. Values are also entered by user. Now, some of the standard fields, it is a standard field only. Any field which is created by the Salesforce is a standard. Right? In some of the fields which are created by the Salesforce, and values are also entered by the Salesforce. They are called system fields. Right? Fields created by the Salesforce are standard. Fields created by the user are custom. Now, some of the standard fields are also called system field. What do you mean by system field? Fields created by the Salesforce. Values are also created by the Salesforce. You can only use it. You cannot modify it. Such type of fields are called system fields. Now, system fields. Standard fields are also created by the Salesforce. System fields are also created by the Salesforce. So, system field is a subset of standard fields. Okay. Now, let us go to the next one. Try to understand what are these system fields, how they are going to be created. Now, try to understand. Now, there are 7 system fields here. Last word for, okay. Look at the format. ID, age deleted, created by ID, created date, last modified by ID, last modified by ID, last modified date, system mod stamp. So these are the system fields which are created by the Salesforce. Now these are the system fields which are created by the Salesforce. Now try to understand these fields one by one. Look at the concept box. Did you get the basic difference between standard field and system field? System field is also a standard field, but the values are created by the user. Okay. Fields are nothing but columns in the regular database. There are two types of fields. What are they? Standard field, custom field. So what is a standard field? These fields are created by the. If you stop referring to the book, if you stop referring to the notes, you'll understand. Okay, don't make a DDP operation. Listen to class. Right, these fields are created by Salesforce. These fields are created by the Salesforce. Standard fields. These are the fields created by the Salesforce. If any field is created by the Salesforce, they cannot be deleted. So standard fields cannot be deleted. Standard fields cannot be deleted. Standard fields are classified as three sections. One is standard fields, system fields, system audit fields. Now, what is standard field? Look at this. Created. Again, remove these. Later we can explain these 2 points. I'll come back to this point later. Okay. Created by data Salesforce data entered by user. This is how we created. I hope you got the clarity, right? Now let us discuss about system fields. What are these system fields and how we are going to use it? These fields are created by Salesforce, and data is also created by. We can only perform read operation. We can only use the data. How many types of fields are there? System fields. ID. Now two more are added there, but generally both of them are same. Is deleted. Last modified date. Created date, last modified date, created by I. Basically, both of them are 5 and 6 are referring to the same. Now, created by ID, last modified by ID. Both of them are same. This 2 set is 1, this 2 set is 1. Okay. Now let us start with one by one. First one, listen carefully, boss. Salesforce by default creating 18 character unique ID. Salesforce by default creating 18 character unique ID. Every record we create in the Salesforce, every record we create in the Salesforce, it has 18 character unique ID. Look at this. So what is the ID we are getting here? 18 character unique ID, which is a case insensitive, Now we are going to add 18 character. So actually what is the ID? 15 character ID will be created by the Salesforce and 3 more characters are added to this to make it a case insensitive. Total how many character ID is created? 18 character ID. Basically it is 15 character ID, but to that 15 character 3 more characters are added to remove the case sensitive. So actually how many IDs? Only one ID. That is 15 character unique ID is created. For that 15 character, 3 more characters are added to make it case insensitive. Okay. So every record you create in the Salesforce, it will have 18 character ID. Basically, it is a 15 character ID. 3 more characters are appended to this to make it 18 characters. So what is the difference between these two IDs? 15 character is a case sensitive, 18 character is a case insensitive. 15 is a case sensitive, 18 is a case insensitive. I hope you are clear with this. Am I clear with this one? So every record we create in the Salesforce, it will have 18 character unique ID, which is used to refer to the record. Every record we create, internally it has 18 character unique ID, which is used to refer to the record. I hope you are clear with this format. Now, in this 15 characters or in the 18 characters, first 3 characters will indicate which object is this. First 3 characters will indicate which object is this. First 3 characters indicate which object is this. Last 4 character indicates which record is that. First 3 indicates which object, last 4 characters which record. Right, boss? Now let me give you this. Salesforce by default 15 character every record. It is a case sensitive. Three more additional characters are added to the ID. To make it case insensitive. So generally we call it as now what? We use 18 character ID to refer to the record. Basically, internally it is only 15 character, but 3 more characters are added to it to remove the case sensitive. Otherwise, small a and capital A we have a difference. It will not be referring. To remove that case sensitiveness, 3 more characters are added, and finally the ID has become 18 characters. So that 18 character ID is used for what? Referring to the record. Whenever we create a new record, 15 character ID is created by the Salesforce, for which we are going to add 3 more characters to remove the case sensitiveness. 1 minute. Can you call that boy? Can you call the office boy? So the idea has become what? The idea has become what? The idea has become 18 character ID. The idea has become 18 character ID. The idea has become 18 character ID. Now what is the difference between 15 and 18? Case sensitive, case insensitive. Finally, how many IDs are created? Only one. One record will have only one. For the same ID, 3 more characters are added to indicate that it's a case insensitive. I hope you are clear. In this ID, first 3 characters will refer to what? First 3 characters in the ID will refer to object. First 3 characters will refer to object. Three characters. Last 4 characters will refer to record. In between, used for internal purpose. Right, boss? So what is that ID? Every record we create in the Salesforce, 18 character unique ID is created. That ID is used to refer to the record. So basically, we have 15 character ID, which is a case sensitive. For that, 3 more additional characters are added by the Salesforce only to make it case insensitive. So who will generate this ID? Salesforce. Every record will have one ID. Right, Amma? Am I clear with this? Okay. Next is deleted. What is that is deleted? Now look at this. I have a table. Name, phone, city. This is the data. Now we have a field called is deleted. If I delete this record, the value of this field is set as. Now when you delete the record, record will not be deleted from database. When you delete the record, record will not be deleted from database. Still the record is in database for next 15 days. Whenever a record is deleted, still that record will be in database for next 15 days. During those 15 days, how do you know it is a deleted record? If a record is deleted, that will be there in the database for 15 days, then it is going to be deleted. During those 15 days, how do you know that record is deleted? Then we had a field called is deleted. Whenever we delete the record, the value of that is deleted is kept as true. Right. So what is that? When you delete the record, that is set as what? True. So let us go back. Is deleted. It is a Boolean value. When record is deleted, value of this field value of this field is kept as true. Note, any record deleted, any record deleted from the database will not be deleted permanently. Any record deleted from the object will not be deleted permanently. It will stay in the recycle bin object for next 15 days. Then it will be deleted. So that when you delete a record has an ID. When you undelete, same ID has to come. That is the reason when you delete the record, still the record is in the database only. Because here ID is the primary key for you. When you delete the record, if ID is lost, when you get back the data also no use. Because everywhere I am referring with the ID only. So when you delete the record, still the record is, if you delete the record is still in the database for next 15 days. After 15 days, record will be deleted permanently. When you delete any record, record will be deleted from the object and kept as is deleted equal to true. But still the record is in database only. Are you getting my point? When you delete a record, the value is kept as what? True. That means you cannot use this data. But still the record is in database only. When you say undelete, record will come back to object. Come back to object means what? Is deleted equal to false. I can use in the operation. So how long it will be? 15 days. After 15 days, record will be deleted permanently. I hope you are clear. When you delete the record, value of this field is kept as, value of each deleted is kept as true. When you undelete, the value is kept as false. Now, let us go to the next one. What is the next field we have? Created a date. It will store date and time when the record was created. Created date. It will store date and time when the record was created. Last modified date. Date and time record was lastly modified by the user manually. It will store the date and time when the record was lastly modified by the user manually. That means user has to open the record, modify the record and save it. I have to go to the record, modify and save, not by the program. You have to open the record and modify. When the record was modified by the user manually, he opened the record, modified the data. System mod stamp. It will store date and time when the record was modified manually or programmatically. It will store date and time when the record was lastly modified manually or programmatically, either by user or program. So difference between last modified date system mod stamp is, last modified date is When the record was modified manually, user opened the record, modified. System mod stamp, when the record was modified manually or programmatically. Created by. What is created by? It will refer to the user who created this record. Created by. It is referring to the user. User who created the record. Created by. User who created the record. User who created the record is referred by created by. Created by. It will store. It will refer to the user who created this record. Created by ID. It will refer to the ID of the user. Every user also will have 18 character ID. It will refer to the ID of the user who created this record. I hope you are clear. So created by is referring to what? This will store the user who created the record. Created by ID. This will store ID of the user who created this record. Created by ID. ID of the user who created this record. Created by user who created this record. Both are basically same. When you say user or user ID, both are referring to whom? Same person only. Then last, this will refer to the user who modified the record lastly. This will refer to the who modified the record last time. To the ID of the user. Right. So what we have? We had ID is deleted, created date, last modified date, system mod stamp, created by ID, last modified by ID. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Right. So these are called system fields. These are created by the Salesforce and data is also entered by the Salesforce. When was the last record modified? System will update. When was the record created? System will update. Who modified the record? System will update the ID. Are you getting my point? These fields are called as system fields. Now, out of these fields, out of system fields, some of the fields are called audit fields. Out of standard fields, some of the fields are called system fields. In system fields, some of the fields are called audit fields. Right, boss? Okay. Now let me give you. Created by ID, created date, created date, last modified date, system mod stamp. These fields are called system audit fields. Some of the system fields are called right now. So we had a standard field. Some of the standard fields are system field. In some of the system fields are also called audit field. Terminology. When you are referring, this is the terminology we are going to have. Standard fields, system field, audit fields. Right, boss? I hope I'm clear. Then what is the next concept we had? Custom field. Standard fields already we are told, right? Any field created by the Salesforce. Now what happened? If we have a standard object, who created all those fields? Not user. Standard object means what? Salesforce created, right? Account, who created? Salesforce. Fields, who created? Salesforce. Contact, standard object. Who created the fields? Salesforce, right? I hope you are good with this. Everyone is good? Any query on this concept? Okay. Now let us go to the next concept, which is called custom fields. Once again, I am giving. Any query from your end regarding the standard fields? Any queries from your end? Right. Any query? Audit. Who created? Audit means what? Who created? When it is created? It's called audit. Audit means when was it created? Who modified? When it is modified? This type of data. Okay. Now let us go to the next one. Look at the next format. What we are going to take? We are going to take custom fields. What are the custom fields? Everyone is good with this concept, right? What are these custom fields, boss? Fields created by the user are called custom fields. Fields created by the user are called custom fields. These fields can be modified or deleted as per your requirement. Right. So when you want to create a custom field, what is the primary thing? What is the data type of a field? When you want to create a field, first we have to tell what is the data type. What type of field is this? Is it a text? Is it a number? Is it a currency? Is it a decimal? What type of field is this? So we need to understand data type of the custom fields. When you want to create your own fields, first we need to understand data type of your own fields. First one, text. What is this text, boss? What type of data it is going to accept? Alpha numeric data it is going to accept. What is the maximum length of the data? I can enter maximum 255 characters. Alpha numeric data with maximum 255 characters. Single line or multiple line? Single line or multiple line? This. You have to enter entire data in a single line. Text. It is a alpha numeric data, maximum of 255 characters, entered in a single line. What is the data type of a text? It is a alpha numeric data with a maximum 255 characters, entered in a single line. Next we have text area. What is the text area? Format alphanumeric, max length max length 255 characters, single line or multiple line, single line or multiple line, it is multiple line. So what is the difference? If you want to enter address, address will be entered in multiple lines. Then I will go for what? Text area. Both of them are same, but one is single line, other one is multiple line. What is the third one we have? Text area. If you want to take more than 255 characters, I want to write a description. Description may be more than 255 characters. If you want to take more than 255 characters, then I'll go for alphanumeric. Max length 32, max length 1 lakh T1. Default 32 768. Single line or multiple line? Single line or multiple line? Minimum length? Boss, at the end of the game, all the three are what? Text data only. All the three are what? Text data only. Up to 255. Up to 255 if you want to take text or text area. More than 255 you want to take text area long. Text area rich. What is this text area rich? You want to format the data. What is the meaning of formatted data, boss? Look at this. Now, we want to format the data. What was this? We are formatting the data. Align left, align center, align numbering. All these are what? Formatting the data. If you want to format the data, we will go for. If you want to format the data, we will go for text area rich. If you want to upload any image also, text area rich. Any watermarks, images, formatted. Max length. Default length 32 768 characters. Single line or multiple lines? It is a multiple lines. So what was this? Text area. Text area long, text area rich. Then we had checkbox. What is the checkbox? What is the format? Boolean. If you want to store true or false, if you want to store the true or false value, you will go with the checkbox. Checkbox is for storing true or false. Checkbox. Then we have currency. What is the currency? If you want to store any value, because you told default organization currency, right? Rupees. If you want to show the rupees in dollars, I should know it's a currency field. So if you want to store any currency value, we'll go with the currency. What is the format? Currency format. Then length, max length, 18 characters. Length of integer and length of integer and decimal together 18 characters. Maximum length, length of integer plus length of decimal both together 18 characters. Length of integer plus length of decimal both together 18 characters. Right. Next we have date. Format. What it is going to store? Date. This will store date value in the form of year, month, date time. What is date time? This will store date along with the. So if you go to date time, look at the format. How it is storing the date along with the time? Date, timestamp. Internally, it is in the form of year, month, date. While displaying it will display as per requirement. But internally, how it is stored? Year, month, date. So date, date time. Then we have number. Number means any numerical value. Number, if you want to store currency value or decimal value, so you store numerical value. Max length. Then we have next we have date, date time, number. What is the other one we can take? Percent. When I say percent, it will append percentage symbol. Append percentage symbol after data. Just look at the data types, you will see how to create them in the next session. Then phone. This will store the phone numbers. Email. So phone, email, and we have URL. This will store the URL of the then we have geolocation. Longitude. All these are what? Data types. So with the help of these data types, we are supposed to create the fields. That's what we are going to see in the next session. But first, if you want to create a custom field, we need to understand what are the data types we have. According to that, we'll be creating the fields. Still, some more data types are there. We'll be looking at them in the next session. So, any queries from today's session?